Think about how much time you spend replaying old conversations, stressing about what might happen or wishing someone would act differently. If you're like most people, you've probably lost hours, maybe even years, trying to control things that were never really in your hands. And here's the thing about that: the tighter we grip, the less peace we feel. One of the reasons people struggle to let go is because they skip this step. They want to jump to peace without walking through the pain. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. But you can't let go of something you won't admit is there. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you're heartbroken. Maybe you're disappointed in yourself for how long you've held on to this. Those are all valid. Sometimes I'll sit with my journal and just write, I feel dot 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 dot. And then let the words spill out. No filter. Nobody else is reading it. Just let it go. Other times I've said it out loud just to hear my own truth. I guess I'd be talking to myself. And it really helps because ignoring how you feel does not help. It just buries it deeper and deeper. And what you bury always comes back up in another form: anxiety, stress, even physical tension in your body. So ask yourself, what emotion am I really holding underneath the need for control? That's the doorway to letting go. Once you see that it isn't yours to control, the question becomes, what is? And this is where you get your power back. You can't make someone else respect you, but you can decide how you speak to yourself. You can't control if a door opens, but you can control how prepared you are when it does. Sometimes people tell me, but that feels so small. And I remind them, small shifts create big change over time. Choosing to take 3 deep breaths instead of exploding, choosing to go for a walk instead of scrolling, choosing to say no instead of people pleasing yourself into exhaustion. Those little choices, they build a life where you feel steady, even when the outside world isn't. That's the kind of control worth keeping. Now, let's talk about something that gets misunderstood: detachment. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you go numb or become cold. That's avoidance, pretending you don't feel when you actually do. Detachment is different. Detachment says, I don't care, but I don't cling, okay? It says I can love you, but I'm not going to destroy myself trying to change you. And that ain't cold either. That's clarity. Think about it. How many times have you stayed in a situation thinking if you just gave more, things would change? Detachment does not erase your love, but it does protect your peace. It says, I can hold compassion without holding chaos. Now, here's where you move from thought into action. Sometimes you need a ritual, a physical release to help your mind and body catch up. Here's a few ways you can practice letting go. Write down the situation you're holding on to. Then rip it up, burn it as a way of saying, I don't need this weight anymore. Journal the lesson you've learned, and then consciously decide, I'll keep the wisdom, but I don't need the pain. Or sit quietly, breathe, and repeat, this is not mine to carry. Personally, I've done the ripping one a few times. It may sound simple, but there's something about watching them little pieces of paper that all shredded up that feels like watching your burden finally leave your body. Here's one more truth. Most of what we stress about is either behind us or ahead of us. We're replaying yesterday or fearing tomorrow. Letting go brings you back here to now. Try this with me. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice one sound you can hear, one thing you can see, and one thing you can touch. Right here in this moment, you're okay. And when your mind drags you back into the past or races into the future, gently bring yourself here again. You don't have to do it perfectly, you just have to practice. Letting go isn't something you do once and just like check it off your list. It is a practice. Some days you'll feel free, and the next day you might pick it back up again. That doesn't mean you failed, it means you're human. The point isn't perfection, the point is progress. So as we close, I want you to say this with me. I release what isn't mine. I keep my energy for what I can influence. And I choose peace over control. If you enjoyed this video, share it with someone who needs this reminder. And don't forget to grab my free Self-Love Journal Starter Kit. It's filled with journal prompts and affirmations to help you let go and return to yourself. Remember this: peace doesn't come from control, it comes from release. Love y'all.